Welcome to Tutorial 3 for Victory and Glory Napoleon. In this episode we'll be covering diplomacy as well as event cards. The diplomatic menu, which you can see here, we click on that and it drops down the diplomacy menu, which shows the diplomatic relationship, the diplomatic rating essentially, between France and each major nation. So each nation that's listed here has a relationship with France. The higher the rating, the better the relationship. When the rating gets low, the British may, through diplomatic pressure and subsidies, be able to convince major nations to declare war on France. Once the diplomatic rating of a major nation that is not yet at war with France gets to 2 or lower, Britain will be able to play an offer of alliance card in an attempt to get them to declare war. If successful, the AI gains control of their armies. Britain may play the offer of alliance card once per turn, and the chances for success vary depending on the rating. If the rating is 2, the chance is only a 5% that they'll declare war on France. If the rating gets down to 1, it rises to 15%, and if it's at 0, there's a 25% chance that war will be declared. So we can see here Austria is currently at war with France. Their diplomatic rating is 1. Prussia is neutral. Their rating is 5. Russia is at war, rating is 1. Spain is actually a friendly neutral, which means that France can actually move troops through Spain. Their rating is 8. Germany and Italy we'll cover later and get into more detail about how they're different from most major nations. They also have diplomatic ratings, though they will never declare war on France. Their diplomatic ratings have different effects. Parts of them, nations that are within Germany or Italy, can be joined to France and troops can be recruited there. So if their rating gets low enough, they may be able to rebel and those troops would go home and new recruits wouldn't be recruited. The Ottoman Empire will also rarely be at war with France, and actually with the play of an event card could be a French ally, but usually is a neutral power. And Great Britain is permanently at war with France, so they don't have a diplomatic rating. They will never be at peace during the game with France, unless conquered, of course. Okay. So, political points we should talk about. So at the beginning of the campaign, neither power have any political points, but through various cards or actions can gain them. Every turn, the player or the AI can spend up to 2 political points to reduce or increase the diplomatic rating. If the French had points, they could click on any one of these apply influence buttons and spend those points to increase the diplomatic rating. Conversely, the British could also spend them to decrease the rating. And that's the diplomatic menu. The next menu we'll cover is event cards. You click on that and you can see these cards. They have various functions. From battle, they can benefit the player in battle. We can see one of those cards here with Napoleon's Genius. This card actually has multiple possible uses. You can use it to give bonuses to infantry, cavalry, artillery, or specialized light infantry. For example, if we clicked on the Grand Battery, it would basically give free attacks to all the artillery at the beginning of the battle. So that's an example of a battle card. There are also cards that allow regions and minor kingdoms to be joined to the French Empire in alliance or outright occupation and annexation. So these cards can be played but they may have certain conditions. A minor nation joins the empire card is a good example. We'll actually see if we can play one of those cards. We have troops in Westphalia here, so if we wanted to play that card, that's one of the requirements to have troops there. We would just click on the title, and then this menu would ask us to select a minor region that will join to the empire. So we click on Westphalia and then select the region, and now Westphalia has been essentially coerced into joining the French Empire. We have the troops, we have the card, and now Westphalia is part of the French Empire. And this also means that we could recruit troops there if we had the right card. Another event card is Forced March would be an example. So we talked earlier about being able to move units that we'd already moved. So we'll click on Forced March and click on Napoleon's army, select the army, and now it's no longer grayed out. It's able to move again, and we can move it one more region closer to the Austrians, which is our initial destination. Okay, other event cards. Here's an example of a naval event card, the Milan Decree. If Holland is part of the empire, we can gain 2 naval units. So reinforcements and recruiting is one of the main purposes. This is a naval recruiting card. So we click on that, and then it would ask us to select a region where we want those ships. We would select Brittany, and now we have 2 more ships, and we can actually, as we talked earlier, we can join them. So now our fleet in Brittany is 6 squadrons instead of 4. Okay, other cards. We have 2 permanent cards. One is France Declares War, which lets the player declare war on any major nation that isn't friendly neutral or already at war with them by playing that card, and then the Consolidate the Empire card. Here's an example. Napoleon marries into a royal family. This is a political card. Basically, it allows him to select any one of the major nations that are in the game, and it improves their relationship with France by 5 points on the diplomatic track. However, there's a negative. Every other major nation is put off by the fact that France did not choose to marry into their royal family, and so their diplomatic rating goes down 1. So we'll play that card, and we'll select, we're not at war with the Prussians. Let's click on the Prussian capital. It asks us to select the capital of the major power, and we will select the region. And now if we check our diplomatic rating with Prussia, it's a whopping 10. So that's great. We just married into the Prussian royal family and have a very close diplomatic relationship with Prussia for now. However, you can see that Austria, the diplomatic rating went down, and Russia also went down, and even Spain went down. So those other major nations are feeling less cordial to the French. Okay, let's see. The Kingdom of Northern Italy and the Kingdom of Bavaria are examples of kingdoms being created. They however, do require that we have troops occupying the regions that make up this potential new kingdom. And Italy, unfortunately, has Austrian troops in it in Venice, so we can't quite pull that off yet. It's actually a more powerful army than our nearby armies. So actually I'm going to have this army fall back and combine so that we don't get crushed by the nearby Austrians. Other examples of cards would be events. There can be events that can be played. Also, let's see, movement we talked about, and unit upgrades. So there are certain cards that will allow us to add upgrades to our current units. Examples would be adding skirmishers to an infantry unit, changing a regular infantry unit to an Imperial Guard unit, changing a light cavalry into a heavy cavalry unit, and changing a light artillery unit into horse artillery, which would allow it to attack twice. And then there's also recruiting cards that will let us recruit units usually in areas of Germany or Italy or Poland, the Grand Duchy of Warsaw. If those areas are occupied and part of our empire, we can recruit troops there if we have the correct card. And that's all for the third tutorial.